everybody, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. How's your day been? Good? Let me know down in the comments below. So we're back at gregtech. I kind of missed it, and I'm also dreading it at the same time. I'm trying to remember exactly where we left off. I think we just got into getting ourselves the IV tier circuits and stuff, and a lot of the machines here have kind of upgraded, I think. Been a while since I've done it, so I can't necessarily remember everything I've done. Last episode, we got ourselves the ATM Star, finally, and we got ourselves the ATM Star B set up. I've converted the other 4 Patrick Bs into it, so we got plenty of Patrick Stars, and we have a load of the shards being crafted right here. So if we look at Star right here, we got 800 shards to work with, so we can just chuck these in here, and it'll just make us a bunch more. Currently don't have any in here, but if I look at how many stars we currently have, we have 34. And I was looking at some of the recipes later on for gregtech endgame multi-blocks. It turns out for the micro universe, we are going to need 16 2x blocks. So we might need to look into a better production of ATM stars. Either that being just generating up a ton more of these bees, or we get into the apiary setup from gregtech. Because I think if we were to look at the ATM star right here, the comb that he produces can be it can come from the apiary here, and if we have 18 of the starry bees in here with 1 block tier 18 circuit and all this, we'll get this many comb blocks, and I think it can go all the way up to like 32 upgrades. I don't know, there's 28 upgrades in here, but you can see how many comb blocks we get, and we can use the comb processor, and I think for a higher chance and a faster productivity than using a heated centrifuge. So this will probably work out in the long run way better, but there's 2 conditions we need for the apiary. 1, the bees need to be metaternal. So that means they have to work day and night. I've turned these arcane debris bees into them. I've lost 2. I think they just died. The way you turn them into a metaternal ones is you just leave them out in the open, let a day or night cycle pass, and they'll just transform. I have some pokey upgrades in here, and they are slowly making us the gene samples. So I have very high and maternal ones. The very high is coming from our draconic bees, since they're already set up very high. We could mass produce very high ones, but that requires the kamikaze bees, and I don't really know a good way of like autocrafting them. Other thing we've done since last episode is I went to my space station, and as you can see, we're kind of maxed out on all of our drive slots here. All the fluid ones are more or less filled. Now over here, I had set up like pattern or like all the processor crafting, but I've also then gone ahead and set up even more extended drives. So all of these cells here are good to go for what we're going to be doing today, which is really nice. Also, there seems to be some sort of weird leaking issue with air in this area. As you can see, I have my oxygen tank up in the top left. I don't know why it's so big. I updated the pack and it just appeared there huge. But if I don't have it on, I kind of suffocate in here, so it's kind of annoying. And also, I've set up even more P2P tunnels on our AE controller down here. So I think there's a total of like another 20, yeah, like another 20 P2P tunnels on this, so we have plenty. And actually, one more thing I want to do just before we even get into gregtech is, since we got the ATM Star, I want to upgrade my jetpack here to the creative one. I've no idea what it does, but I have everything for it, right? Huh? Is that not how you upgrade it? Does it have to be empty of power? Oh, you're joking. I'm gonna have to make a brand new one. Hang on. All right, there we go. After crafting a brand new jetpack, we got ourselves the creative one. Tier C? Don't actually know exactly what this does. Does this give me creative flight? That'd be kind of cool if it did, because sometimes zipping around is kind of annoying. So jetpack on. Infinite FE. Okay, I can't double tap. 100% flight power. Does this seem slower? Hang on, let's go out in the overworld and try this out. Oh, of course it's raining. Hang on, let me sleep. Is this faster? Oh, this definitely feels like creative flight speed. This is 100% on the unobtainium jetpack, and this is 100% on the creative jetpack. Oh, it's not as fast. Oh, that's disappointing. And you fly down so slow. Okay, you know what? It wasn't worth making this jetpack at all. So you're probably wondering why we're now out here and what this is. Well, we need to fix our chlorine issue with gregtech. And the only way to fix that, from what I can see, is there's 2 options. We can use mechanism and use brine to electrolyte separate into chlorine, or we can try and see if we can electrolyze salt water, and instead of making salt water using salt and water, we can actually drill for it. Right here over the ocean, using our fluid prospector, you can see we're over an entire like pool or lake of salt water. The chunk we're in right now is 98 out of, I don't know what it actually means if it's 98. I'm guessing that's the like amount that's there. So 98 was the highest one I could kind of see in the area. So it's 100% full. And we're going to set up now a fluid drilling rig and see if we can actually dig up all that salt water. So export hatch, we're going to put here and here. We're going to have an ender tank right here. That should automatically go into the system. I think it actually has to go in the front and or the top and bottom. So set it up like that. Energy hatches. I think I need 2 more of these. Yeah, because each machine is going to have 2 connections on it. And then the rest is more or less just going to be this steel titanium, stable titanium casing. And in the front here, we have our 2 controllers. In the middle, then, we need to go up 3 and then surround that in this titanium frame. The reason why we're only using tier 2 at the moment is because tier 3 drilling rig requires ULV tier circuits, which we don't have access to. Hopefully after today we will. And then 3 on top. And this thing is more or less ready. So we just grab ourselves down some energy converters. Turn off hover mode, it's kind of annoying me now. Platinum cable. And then just some regular all power cable just to connect it. You connect wire cutters. You connect there and there. Invert your connection. There you go. And now we just need a point. So if we connect this up right here, we should see, yep, it's online. It takes 1 second and you can see it is drilling for salt water. The salt water should be going into the tank here. If you look up salt water, it is, but we already have it set up to go in an electrolyzer. This area is chunk loaded, so let's fly back over to our gregtech area. And if we look inside the electrolyzers right here, we can see there is salt water. Now, it might take a moment to get these guys filled up. I'm going to stop electrolyzing apatite since we don't need that anymore. This guy here is still doing it, but we'll leave that alone for now. And everything else should be ready. So this guy is full. You're filling up with salt water now. So once this guy here is full, this guy here should start. And that should fix our chlorine issue. Yep, we're already making more chlorine than we're using, which is also going to help now because I think we need chlorine for some sort of chemicals now today. And also, this is going to help with our titanium production. Why are you not exporting out any chlorine? Are you set up to export? You're missing a channel. Oh, what's going on here? Are we maxed out? We are maxed out. How? I must have missed something in here. Is there something here that doesn't need to be connected? Yeah, we can convert this interface here into 1. All right, and it should be still 32, but this guy here should be online now and working, and he is. Okay, so that was the issue. Just connect everything here at Universal Pipes. Cool. So while we're actually here, there's actually 2 new things I want to get set up before we do anything. Over here, actually 3 new things. I've got myself 2 new Pyrolos ovens, and these guys here are going to be set up to make something special. We want to pump logs into here on circuit number 8 with hydrogen or nitrogen. Why isn't it going in here? Have these got a channel? They do. Input hatch. Wait, am I using the wrong fluid actually? No, I have nitrogen gas in here. Why isn't the nitrogen being exported out? Input hatch, input hatch. Huh? Oh, I see what I done. I forgot to connect up the new P2P tunnel here. I just connected it straight into the sub network. Oops. 1 second. Okay, now if we were to connect this the way I intended it to, are we getting the nitrogen? Okay, you filled with nitrogen, but why are you not filling with nitrogen? Now we filled up. Okay, I don't know what that was about. All right, so then cable just to connect this up right here. And that should be good to go now as well. So in here, our main goal right now using these 2 Pyrolos oven is to make wood vinegar. Using that, if we put some logs into the export buses right here, on circuit 8 with nitrogen, we'll produce wood vinegar plus a ton of like charcoal. The wood vinegar will go in here and distill into multiple byproducts. The ones we're mainly after is acetone, but we'll also get a bunch of other stuff as well. And yes, I did make a cell for everything, so hopefully everything is going to its right location. Now that the distillery and pyrolyze ovens are actually up and running, let's get into the next material we're going to be needing for these new LuV circuits. That is going to be epoxy. Epoxy is the next tier of circuit boards we need to get into. And they are made by combining two fluids, liquid epoxy, and that is bisphenol A and epichlorohydrin and sodium hydroxide. So I have one chemical reactor here. So we want to set up in here bisphenol A, epichlorohydrin, and sodium hydroxide. So those will go in here. This is actually my second time recording this, so that's why I already have a few. Well, I need to go ahead and set up the rest. Let's start off with ourselves our bisphenol A. So bisphenol A, that is made with phenol, acetone, and hydrochloric acid on circuit 1. So up in here, hydrochloric acid, acetone, which we're now getting from distilling wood vinegar, and phenol, which I think we get from oil processing. So the 3 of those will go in there, and that will start filling up with bisphenol A. The next ingredient we need is epichlorohydrin. Epichlorohydrin is hypochlorous acid and alichloride. So let's start with the alichloride. We could use glycerol, but I'm not going to bother with that. So in here, alichloride is a mixture of chlorine and propene on circuit 1. Propene, we don't really have a method for getting it, but if you electrolyze propane, which we do get from distilling our like severely or hydro-cracked fuel, we do get a small bit of it. So we can use that in there. And over here where the electrolyzer is electrolyzing salt water, I just turned one of them into propane. And combining the propane then with chlorine, this will give us our alichloride, right? Yes. And also some hydrochloric acid. So in here then, we need to combine our alichloride that we're getting with, I think, hypochlorous acid. Hang on. Yes, a hypochlorous acid. And this doesn't require a circuit, so nope. So that will combine in here with hypochlorous acid and sodium hydroxide. You might notice that it says here hazardous. I've turned off that hazards thing in the configs. It was kind of annoying me. I was messing with some sort of like chemical. What was it called? I think, yeah, silicon dioxide. I was messing with that, trying to figure out what else I can use it for. And when I was holding it, I got hunger, wither, blindness, nausea. It was just not fun. And no matter how much milk I drank, it just would not go away. So I went into the configs and turned it off because it was just annoying me. So to make ourselves hypochloric acid, we need to combine together liquid chlorine, water, and mercury. And all 3 of those will go in here and be mixed together. And I think that's everything then. So we're making a hydrochloric acid. That's being mixed in here with sodium hydroxide, getting our epichlorohydrin. Just need to make sure I tell this to export out into the system. There we go. That's being mixed in here. And this is all being mixed in here. We're just slowly getting acetone from our distilling wood vinegar. And yep, now we're making our epoxy. Perfect. So now what do we need to do? Well, now that we have epoxy being made, we need to start making our new tier circuits. So I've already kind of set up some of the patterns already because there's a lot of them. In here, I have a new autoclave up here. He's IV tier, and he's got the pattern for making raw carbon fibers. That is going to be using the polybenzimazole and carbon dust. Now the recipe, or like the quest book, it calls for us to use epoxy, but using epoxy we only get 4, whereas if we use polybenzimazole we get 16, so it's a better yield, and we're already making polybenzimazole, so that's whatever. So we should be ready to go for the next tier circuit. So our first circuit we're going to be looking at is nanoprocessors, the HV nanoprocessor, which is our final HV tier circuit. To make that, I wanted to do this recipe, but it requires an LuV circuit assembler, so we can't do that just yet until we've made our first LuV tier circuits. But we have to go with this recipe right here. I think, yeah, I'm going with this one, I think. I can't remember which one I actually picked. I think I picked this one here. So we already have everything in here for that. There's a new CPU chip in here called the nano chip. That is made by combining CPU wafers, liquid glowstone, either the one from thermal series, I think, or yeah, energized glowstone, or liquid glowstone, which is from Gregtech, inside a chemical reactor with raw carbon fibers. And I think I have that set up in, yes, there. So if we request this now, it says liquid epoxy. That's going to make our epoxy sheet mix with our sulfuric acid to make epoxy circuit board, and then iron tree chloride to make our printed circuit board. And everything should just work. So you're in here, you're making those. You should be making our circuit board now. Yep. And if we come over here to our circuit assemblers, I think I have it set up in here. We just need to wait for all the ingredients to be pumped into this guy. What are we currently waiting on? The nanoprocessors. Let's see if it's actually being crafted. I might have forgot to tell the autoclave to export out. I did. So now is it working? Oh, don't tell me this requires the next tier of assembler. Oh, it might do. Oh, it needs an EV tier assembler. This is only an LV or a EV tier. Right, that means I need to upgrade all the machines in here. Great. Give me a second. Okay, I must not be able to read or I am blind. This whole time I've been trying to get this to work in a chemical or in a advanced assembler. It's supposed to be in a chemical reactor. Please tell me this works. Wait, never mind. Why are you not working? You need a circuit? No, EV tier circuit, electric glowstone. Oh, come on. Why are you not working now? Okay, forget everything I've been saying for the last like 5 minutes. I don't know what is going on. I tried to use an assembler. Didn't work because I could not read. And this was already EV. Then I realized, oh, it's meant to be in a chemical reactor. Oh, why wasn't that working? I tried to make myself a large chemical reactor, and then all of a sudden this thing starts to work. So I have the nano CPU wafer now, and all of a sudden this guy decides to start working. What? I honestly have no clue why or how or what's going on. But now we've made the nano CPU wafer. I don't know. I'm just going to roll with it. I guess now that the nano CPU wafer is done, we should be able to get the whole nano processor being made. So will it craft this time? It just needs to go inside a cutting machine, which I think, yeah, I told it to go inside this one. Huh? Why are you not going in here now? Oh, I forgot to set allow item input. Okay, so it is cutting. So when that's done cutting, it should finally make our nano processor tier HV. And that should be done in this circuit assembler. Come on, please work. Oh, yep, the items just went in and it is slowly crafting it now. Oh my God, thank you. So it is actually working. I don't know what was wrong before. But yeah, there we go. 2 HV nano processors. Now we need to get all the way up to LV. So that's going to require IV tier nano processors and EV tier nano processors. I think we have all that. If I click craft. Oh, okay. So we're missing palladium, advanced SMD capacitors, and NOR memory chips. Okay, let's make those. So NOR memory chips is like this, just cut in here. Wait, this, okay, that's just only HV, so that's fine. So that's how you make that. Now the NOR memory wafer requires a pink laser lens. Ugh. I think we are currently using aqua doped wafers. So do I have a pink wafer lens or pink laser? This one here is free, so why not go in there? And we'll stick this in here. Okay, so the only thing now is the palladium. And we have 95k palladium ore. How do I process this? This needs to be cooked in an EBF with nitrogen, okay. And then cooled in a vacuum freezer. Doesn't require anything. Okay. Which one of my EBFs here are using nitrogen? This guy. So stick the pattern in here. And then stick it in the vacuum freezer. Cancel Nicro. Yeah, so I haven't set that up already. So now if I was to request the nano LuV processor, will it craft it? Oh yeah, the SMD advanced things. So polybenzimazole with HSS foil and thin polybenzimazole. Okay, that should be easy enough. Then that's just ingot and that. Now the other part is this foil. I don't know if we have this already. No, we don't. So HSS is made in a vacuum freezer, like so, and cycle outputs. I don't know what that means. Hot SS is argon, and this is made in a mixer tier IV on circuit 2. The only thing we don't have is iridium. Never mind, we have it. I believe this is argon. Yes, it is. So in here you go. And in here you go. And then the rest is more or less just crafted in the assembler and bending machine. Okay, now if I've done everything correctly, nano processor, LuV. What? Oh, do I not have a pattern for that either? Come on, we're running into so many different issues here. Now can I craft this? Yes. Let's see if it can do it. This is going to take a while. Wait, are you telling me in 40 seconds we're already going to have it? It hasn't even been 2 minutes yet. Huh? It's only like a minute and a half. Jeez, if I were to make circuits that fast, that's amazing. So can we upgrade to the next tier advanced circuit assembler? This one here requires LuV tier circuits. Yeah, we can make it. And our LuV tier circuit is done. Nano processor mainframe. Yes! That is so good to have now. Still have a few quests in here to complete to unlock it, but we've done it. So now we're basically into LuV, ludicrous voltage. Oh, things are going to get interesting now. Oh my, large engraving machines. Stargate gave us ZPM. Oh my god. Quantum processor ZPM. So our next tier circuit is ZPM. But we have a lot of stuff to go through before we can do that. So that's going to be next episode problem. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell while you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.